episode opens with a breathtaking aerial view of the Heartland Ranch, drenched in the soft golden hues of early morning light. The sweeping landscape stretches endlessly beneath a pastel sky, the vast open fields, the gentle sway of the grass in the breeze, and the beloved silhouette of the iconic red barn, standing tall like a symbol of resilience and memory. In that single moment, viewers are instantly transported, not just to the setting, but to the soul of the series itself. As the camera gracefully glides closer, we see Amy Fleming, brought to life once again by the incomparable Amber Marshall, standing among the horses, gently brushing their coats, her movements calm and tender. There's a delicate stillness in her expression, a kind of quiet strength softened by an unmistakable melancholy in her eyes. Her face tells a story not with words, but with emotion. It's a portrait of a woman who has found momentary peace in the rhythm of the ranch, yet still carries the weight of a loss that time hasn't fully healed. The beauty of the morning, the serenity of the animals, the warmth of the rising sun, it all stands in sharp contrast to the emotional storm Amy has weathered over the past year. A storm defined by longing, unanswered questions, and the haunting absence of the man she once called her forever. Ty may be gone, but his presence lingers in every corner of Heartland, in every sunrise, and in every heartbeat of Amy's quiet morning routine. This opening sequence doesn't just set the stage, it feels like coming home. But home, as we soon discover, is about to change in ways no one could have imagined. Amy's morning begins not with fanfare, but with quiet rituals steeped in memory and meaning. The sun rises slowly over Heartland Ranch, casting a golden hue over the fields as Amy steps into the crisp morning air. She walks toward the stables, her boots crunching softly on the gravel, carrying the weight of both her responsibilities and her lingering grief. As she feeds the horses, there's a tenderness in her every move. The way she gently strokes the mane of Spartan, her oldest companion, reveals more than words ever could. It's a brief but profound moment of connection, grounding her in the present while whispering echoes of the past. The camera lingers on her face, her eyes reflective, her expression quietly burdened. It's in this stillness that we feel the depth of her loss. Ty's absence isn't just a memory, it's a presence in itself woven into every breath she takes. And as much as Amy tries to carry on, her heart is still learning how to live without him. As the morning unfolds, Amy returns to the warm embrace of the ranch house, where the smell of fresh coffee and sizzling bacon fills the kitchen. The soft hum of morning life contrasts beautifully with the emotional undercurrent running through her. Waiting for her at the breakfast table is Lindy, her bright-eyed daughter, who despite her young age, carries both innocence and wisdom beyond her years. She greets her mother with a smile that could light up the darkest morning, her voice bubbling with excitement as she talks about school, her favorite pony, and a new drawing she wants to show. Their bond is instantly felt, a thread of deep love stitched together by shared loss and enduring hope. Amy listens intently, responding with warmth and gentle laughter, savoring the ordinary beauty of this moment. But then, with a simple honesty only a child can muster, Lindy looks up and asks a question that stops Amy in her tracks. "Mom, when is Daddy coming home from his long trip?" The room seems to pause. Amy's smile falters just for a second, a flicker of pain crossing her features, but she catches herself and leans in closer. Her voice is soft and steady as she explains, choosing words that are kind, comforting, and careful. She tells Lindy that Ty had to go far away for important work, that he loved them both more than words could say, and that sometimes people we love are with us in spirit, even when we can't see them. Her words are wrapped in grace, but her eyes betray a sadness that never truly goes away. This quiet exchange between Amy and Lindy strikes at the very core of the episode's emotional depth. It's not just about grief, it's about the quiet resilience that blooms in the face of loss, the undeniable strength of a mother's love, and the incredible courage it takes to carry the weight of the past while continuing to move forward. Amy's heartache is palpable, but her unwavering determination to protect her daughter from that pain is just as powerful. Lindy, with her innocent eyes wide open in curiosity, repeats the question that has haunted Amy for months, but will he ever come back? In that simple, raw moment, Amy's heart both aches and swells with love as she gazes at her daughter, Her voice is soft but certain as she reassures Lindy that Ty's love still surrounds them, a warm hug they can always feel even if he's not physically here. It's a beautiful bittersweet moment, a reminder that the truth of love can transcend absence, even as Amy's heart struggles to balance the honesty Lindy deserves with the need to shield her from the harshest of reality. It's a raw portrayal of a mother's devotion, a testament to the unbreakable bond they share, even when faced with the unknown. Just as the weight of this tender moment begins to settle, the serene peace of the day is suddenly shattered by the appearance of a lone rider on the horizon. The camera pulls back, the sweeping shots of the vast, empty landscape amplifying the isolation of this figure. Every frame brims with tension, the unfamiliar presence sending a chill through the air, leaving viewers suspended in uncertainty, unsure of what's to come. Amy, who has been mending a fence with quiet focus, senses the rider from a distance, her brow furrows, confusion clouding her features, followed by a subtle flicker of apprehension. The camera lingers on her face, capturing every emotion, the flicker of hope, the sharp pang of disbelief, and the unmistakable stirrings of a deep, buried fear. Without thinking, she shades her eyes and steps forward, as if drawn by an invisible thread pulling her closer to something she can't yet name. The figure, still distant, is nothing more than a silhouette against the bright sky, but as the sun climbs higher, casting clearer light over the land, that silhouette begins to take shape. Amy's breath catches in her chest. There's something about this rider, something in the way he sits his horse, that feels too familiar, too hauntingly close to the past she thought she buried. The world seems to still, the wind quiets, and for just a fleeting moment, everything pauses. Her heart pounds in her chest as the rider draws closer, his presence becoming unmistakably known. A chill races down her spine as the impossible thought forms. It can't be, can it? Then, as the rider dismounts and steps into the full light, the air around Amy seems to freeze. Her body stiffens, eyes locked in disbelief, her breath hitches in her throat, hands trembling as the unimaginable becomes real. The world around them stops, and the true weight of this moment takes hold. It's Ty Borden. Graham Wardle's return is nothing short of breathtaking. His face, older, weathered, and carrying the faint scar above his eyebrow from an old injury, is achingly familiar, etched with the weight of years lost and a heart full of longing. The background score swells, rich with emotion, as Ty stands motionless, his eyes locked on Amy's, a gaze filled with equal parts trepidation and desperate hope. He looks like a man who's dreamed of this moment 1,000 times, yet still can't believe it's real, bracing himself for any reaction. Amy's expression is a whirlwind of raw, unfiltered emotion. Shock ripples across her face, followed by disbelief, then pure, overwhelming joy mixed with a dawning confusion. Her eyes fill with tears that spill freely as her lips part in silent awe. She takes a cautious step forward, then another, as if afraid that if she moves too quickly the illusion will shatter. Every inch of her movement is steeped in hesitation, wonder, and a yearning that has lived in her heart since the day she lost him. For a moment, time itself seems suspended, the ranch around them fading into the background. It's just the two of them, suspended in the gravity of the past and the miracle of the present. The camera closes in, capturing every flicker of emotion in their eyes, every breath, every tear. This isn't just a reunion, it's a collision of heartbreak and hope, a culmination of silent prayers and impossible dreams, finally answered. Amy's voice breaks the silence, barely above a whisper. She utters his name, Ty, as if speaking it might make him vanish. She reaches out, fingertips trembling, and gently brushes his cheek, feeling the warmth, the reality of him. The moment her skin touches his, it's as if the years fall away. Ty exhales shakily, a sound heavy with relief and unshed tears, and pulls her into his arms in a tight, desperate embrace, holding her like a man who has waited an eternity, like she's the anchor he's been drifting toward. They cling to each other, sobbing, not just from grief, but from the release of 1,000 emotions that have been building for far too long, a torrent of questions and unspoken words welling up. When they finally part, still holding hands as if afraid to let go, Ty begins to speak. His voice is quiet, raspy, heavy with emotion, and cracks under the weight of what he's about to reveal. He explains that after testifying against a dangerous criminal syndicate, he was forced into witness protection. But it was more than that. He'd been severely injured during the events leading to his testimony, an injury that had kept him isolated and in recovery for a long period even before the official protection protocol began. The threat was real and ongoing, and the authorities believed that disappearing, completely severing all ties, was the only way to keep him, and more importantly Amy and Lindy, safe from retaliation. He couldn't contact anyone, not even Jack, not even the pain of that silence, of knowing the worry he was causing, was a torment, but it was necessary. Only now, after years of living in the shadows, after the threat was finally neutralized, and he had fully recovered, was it finally safe to come home. Amy stands frozen, her heart pounding as she listens in stunned silence, her tears flowing freely down her cheeks. In that moment, her emotions collide, a whirlwind of heartbreak for the years stolen from them, relief that the man she thought lost forever is standing right here, a confusing anger at the silence and the system that kept them apart, and above all, an overwhelming love that has never once faltered, even in the darkest of times. As the weight of it all crashes down on her, the years of imagining this moment, the fear, the hope, she wraps her arms around Ty once more, burying her face in his chest, her sobs muffled by the comfort of his embrace. The truth, as impossible and layered as it seems, begins to sink in. He's back, he's truly back. This breathtaking moment, woven together with stunning cinematography and a hauntingly emotional score, is not just the return of Ty Borden, it's the rebirth of everything they thought was lost. It's the rekindling of a flame that never truly extinguished, a testament to the enduring power of love that can survive the deepest of wounds and the longest of separation. This reunion, more than a mere return, is a poignant reminder that even in the bleakest of places, hope can bloom once again. It's a scene that will linger in the hearts of Heartland fans long after the credits roll. Inside the house, Lindy watches from the window, her small face pressed against the cool glass, eyes wide with wonder and a little bit of confusion, when she sees her mother locked in a tender, tearful embrace with a man she barely recognizes. Curiosity flickers across her brow. Her initial shyness wins out over her curiosity, and she stays by the window, her tiny feet tapping against the floorboards. But as she draws closer to the window, uncertainty takes hold, and she shrinks back a little, unsure of what she's witnessing. Ty, now aware of his daughter's gaze as Amy gently turns him towards the house, sees Lindy properly for the first time in years. His hardened features soften instantly, his heart flooding with an emotion he can barely contain, a mix of joy and sorrow for the lost time. A smile, gentle, radiant, and full of a father's profound love, spreads across his face as he meets her eyes. Lindy, still unsure, looks up at Amy for reassurance, her small hand clutching her mother's leg. Amy, her own heart swelling with a complex mix of emotions, nods with an encouraging smile, silently urging her daughter to take the leap of faith. Ty crouches down slowly, not wanting to scare her, his eyes brimming with warmth and affection, and gently says, "Hi Lindy Bug, it's Daddy." There's a heavy pause as Lindy takes him in, her young mind racing to piece together the reality before her, connecting this man to the stories her mother told. And then, in a move that seems to bridge the gap of time and distance, a small hesitant smile touches Lindy's lips, and she takes a tentative step, then another, and then runs into his outstretched arms, instinctively burying her face in his shoulder. Ty holds her tightly, tears of joy escaping him as he clutches his daughter, whispering her name, his heart overflowing with the love he thought he might never have the chance to give again in person. It's a moment so tender, so raw, it feels as if the very air around them holds its breath. The bond between father and daughter, though once torn apart by circumstances beyond their control, is now woven back together with unspoken love, and the weight of their separation melts into the purity of this reunion. News of Ty's return spreads like wildfire through the Heartland household, carried on whispers of disbelief, shock, and burgeoning hope. The air at the ranch feels charged, as if time itself is holding its breath, waiting for the next revelation. The first to arrive is Jack, the steady foundation of the Fleming Borden family, alerted by a breathless call from Lou, who had heard from a shaken Amy. The seasoned patriarch, with his weathered hat and eyes that have seen both profound heartbreak and quiet healing, steps forward slowly, his gaze fixed on Tai. Years of silent prayers, unspoken grief, and a fiercely guarded hope flicker across his rugged features. He stares at Tai for a long silent moment, almost as if willing himself to believe it's really him, taking in the changes, the toll the years have taken. No words are exchanged at first, only a shared look heavy with history, sorrow, forgiveness, and an unbreakable deep-seated love. Jack's usually firm jaw softens. The man who rarely lets his emotions show takes a deep, shuddering breath, steps in, and pulls Tai into a powerful, bone-crushing embrace, one that says everything he can't put into words, a hug that speaks of relief, and a pain finally easing. His voice, thick with emotion and cracked from years of holding it all in, murmurs, "Welcome home, son. We never gave up hope." That one sentence is more than a greeting, it's a moment of profound healing, not just for Tai but for Jack too, the grandfather who had loved him like his own. Lou, practical, composed, and fiercely protective, is next, arriving in a flurry of controlled urgency. She bursts onto the scene, eyes darting in disbelief, half expecting it to be a cruel mirage, like she's bracing for it all to disappear. Her breath catches as she sees Tai standing there, whole and alive, talking quietly with Jack and Amy. Her initial shock quickly gives way to a tearful, relieved smile, and for a split second the polished, no-nonsense Lou lets her carefully constructed walls fall. She crosses the room in seconds, and wraps Tai in a heartfelt, strong, sisterly embrace. "It's so good to see you, Tai," she whispers, her voice trembling, the years of worry, unanswered questions, and the burden of supporting Amy spilling over in her tears. Behind her smile is a mind already racing, wondering about the logistics, how to protect Amy, how to help Lindy process this, how to support the family in the wake of this seismic emotional shift. But for now she holds on tight, just grateful he's home, truly home. Then comes Georgie, fiery, brave, and full of life, arriving a little later, having heard the news from a frantic Lou. Ty's return hits her like lightning. As someone who always saw him as a role model, a brother figure, a steady anchor in her own turbulent journey, she doesn't hesitate. The moment she sees him, standing there with Amy and Lindy, a joyous cry escapes her, and she breaks into a run, throwing her arms around him, nearly knocking him off balance in her exuberance. "I can't believe you're really back," she exclaims, her voice filled with unfiltered joy and disbelief. Her eyes sparkle with a kind of hope. Only youth can carry hope, that things can be whole again, that miracles do happen, even after so much time has passed. Tai lets out a genuine, hearty laugh, a sound that's been missing from Heartland's walls for far too long, hugging her back tightly. In Georgie's embrace, he finds a kind of uncomplicated comfort, a reminder of the vibrant life he's returned to. Finally Tim arrives, having been called by He stands back for a moment, his expression unreadable, observing the scene, the years of conflict, misunderstanding, grudging respect, and a complex paternal concern simmering just beneath the surface. Their relationship has always been a complicated dance of pride, protection, and often stubbornness. Tim's eyes are hard at first, searching Ty's face for truth, for answers, for any sign of deceit, his protective instincts for Amy and Lindy paramount. The tension between them could be cut with a knife, but then something shifts. Perhaps it's seeing the genuine relief on Amy's face, or the sight of Ty holding Lindy. In an unexpected gesture of something akin to humility, Tim steps forward and extends his hand. It's a simple offering, but monumental in its meaning. Ty pauses, studies him for a beat, then grips his hand firmly, a strong connecting handshake. It's not a warm hug, but it doesn't need to be. It's real, it's on. Tim clears his throat, and with a rare softness in his voice, a gruffness that barely conceals deeper emotion, says, "Glad you're back, Borden. You put this family through hell." And Ty nods, a silent acknowledgement of the truth in that statement, a silent promise that this too is a step toward healing, toward rebuilding. This emotional whirlwind of reunions paints a powerful portrait of what family truly means at Heartland: resilience, forgiveness, and an unshakable bond. Ty's return doesn't erase the years of pain or the scars left behind, the what-ifs and the lost moments, but it begins a new chapter, a new uncertain normal, one built not on forgetting the past, but on finally facing it, processing it, and moving through it together. With Ty's return, the Heartland family begins the difficult, joyful, and complex process of adjusting to their new normal. The initial overwhelming joy of the reunion is soon tempered by the practical and emotional challenges of reintegrating Ty into their daily lives, a life that moved on without him, yet always felt his absence. The family gathers around the large kitchen table, a familiar scene now imbued with a different energy, filled with hesitant warmth, laughter, and a flurry of story. They share updates, reminisce about the past, both good and bad, and tentatively catch up on lost time, the gap sometimes painfully obvious. The atmosphere is predominantly light and filled with love, but beneath the surface, there are deeper currents of emotion, unspoken questions, anxieties, and the sheer weight of all that has happened. Amy and Ty have several private conversations, often late at night after Lindy is asleep, away from the well-meaning bustle of the family. They talk about their time apart, the minute details of the struggles they each faced, their fears, their regrets, and their fragile hopes for the future. These conversations are filled with a mixture of profound relief, lingering sadness, shared tears, and cautious, hopeful optimism. Amy expresses her deep-seated fears about the challenges they might face as a family, the difficulty of bridging the chasm of lost years, while Ty reassures her of his unwavering commitment to making things work, to being the husband and father he always wanted to be. Their dialogues are heartfelt and painfully honest, a testament to the enduring strength of their relationship, but also a clear indication of the road ahead. They acknowledge that while they have a monumental task to work through, their love for each other remains the steadfast foundation they can build upon. The Heartland community, a close-knit tapestry of friends and neighbors, is abuzz with the astonishing news of Ty's return. Friends and neighbors, some skeptical at first, then overjoyed, drop by the ranch, each bringing warm wishes, casseroles, and heartfelt expressions of joy and support. There's a palpable sense of collective relief and happiness among the community members who have always been a vital, supportive extension of the Heartland family. The community's reaction is captured in a beautifully filmed, spontaneous scene where they throw a small, informal welcome back potluck for Ty at the ranch. The scene is filled with genuine laughter, shared memories, acoustic music, and heartfelt, sometimes tearful speeches, showcasing the strong, resilient bonds that tie the Heartland family to the wider community. However, Ty's return isn't without its significant challenges, which the episode doesn't shy away from. The family must navigate the immense complexities of reintegration, including the profound emotional and psychological impacts of his prolonged absence on everyone, especially Amy and Lindy. There are moments of unspoken tension, awkward silences, and missteps as they adjust to their new, still undefined reality. For instance, Amy and Ty struggle to find a new rhythm in their relationship. They have both changed profoundly during their time apart, shaped by different, difficult experiences. They have disagreements, small at first, about parenting decisions, for Lindy, who Ty barely knows as a growing child, and tentative discussions about the future, reflecting the natural friction that can arise when two people who love each other deeply are faced with such significant life-altering changes and the ghosts of the past. Lindy in particular faces her own set of challenges in adjusting to having her father back in her life, so sudden. While she is clearly thrilled to have him home, showering him with questions and affection, she also experiences moments of confusion, shyness, and uncertainty, sometimes retreating to Amy when overwhelmed. Ty makes a concerted, patient effort to bond with her, rediscovering her personality, taking her on slow horse rides, reading her stories, and spending quiet, quality time together, just listening. These scenes are heartwarming and poignant, showcasing Ty's gentle, intuitive, and caring nature as a father, and his determination to rebuild that precious bond. Lindy's gradual comfort around Ty, her hesitant questions about where he was, and her growing open affection for him are portrayed with immense sensitivity, highlighting the nuanced, delicate dynamics of their evolving relationship. Throughout the episode, the narrative is skillfully interspersed, with carefully chosen flashbacks of Amy and Ty's most cherished and pivotal moments. These flashbacks serve as a poignant, sometimes painful reminder of their deep and enduring bond, and all that was lost. The scenes include significant milestones, like their wedding vows, the joyful birth of Lindy, and quieter, more intimate, tender moments that capture the true essence of their unique love story. A shared glance, a quiet laugh, a moment of support during a crisis. These glimpses into the past not only evoke a powerful sense of nostalgia for viewers, but also underscore the immense emotional weight and significance of Ty's return, and the courage it took for Amy to navigate life without him. Amy in particular reflects often on the strength she has gained over the years, a strength born of necessity and resilience. The flashbacks contrast sharply with scenes of her present-day resilience, her capability, highlighting her profound growth as an individual, a horsewoman, and as a mother. She has become a pillar of strength for her family, a quiet leader, and her journey of navigating grief and then rediscovering hope is a central, inspiring theme of the episode. These reflections are complemented by a beautifully composed, evocative musical score, which enhances the emotional impact of these reflective, often bittersweet moments. As the episode draws to a close, Amy and Ty sit together on the familiar porch swing, looking out over the moonlit rain. The golden hues of the setting sun have given way to a soft, peaceful twilight, bathing them in a warm, intimate glow, creating a serene and hopeful atmosphere. They discuss their future, not with grand plans, but with quiet shared dreams and aspirations for their family. This conversation is a delicate balance of raw hope and stark realism, as they acknowledge the many challenges they will undoubtedly face, the therapy they might need, the adjustments required, but express their absolute commitment to overcoming them together, one day at a time. Ty talks about his desire to eventually return to veterinary work, his passion for helping animals still burning brightly, but also his need to heal himself first. Amy, on the other hand, expresses her wish to continue her work with horses, the healing it brings her, and perhaps to slowly expand their equine therapy program, now with a partner she never thought she'd have again. They also touch upon the possibility of having more children someday, a topic that brings a mixture of unexpected excitement, fear, and deep tenderness. This dialogue, rich with unspoken love, shared history, and a boundless, fragile optimism for what lies ahead, sets the stage for the challenges, triumphs, and moments of profound growth that lie ahead for the entire Heartland family. As they move forward, navigating the inevitable highs and lows of this new life.